Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Today, today means on Sunday, 16th of January, we will have our ninth lecture relating to the course of operation research, and our topic will be failure mechanism of items, bath tube curve, general approach for the solution of replacement problem, mortality tables, introduction to integer programming methods, branch and bound methods, advanced programming, either or constraints, if and then constraints. These two last topics, either or are constraints or if then constraints, are dependent on the time. If we have time, we will go through these two. Otherwise, if we will postpone on the lecture number 10. Advanced programming, we will go through the methods and methodologies and relating to the advanced programming, and we will touch the techniques and the theory relating to these all the topics. Till now, I'm sure you all are able to find out the solution of the model uh, according to its objective function, keeping the constraints in view, and the solution is must be feasible solution or optimal solution that we find out is the main task in this course in operation research. If the feasible solution satisfies all the constraints, then it is optimal. And if in addition being feasible, it yields the best maximum or minimum value of the objective function. So OR models are designed to optimize a specific objective criterion subject to a set of constraints. The quality of the resulting solution depends on the completeness of the model in representing the real system. So, keeping view at this concept, we will go through the theory of replacement problems. The theory of replacement problem occur when we have to replace our machinery, our equipments, or many other things which are relating to our business or which we concern our objective function. So basically, replacement problems are concerned with the machines and the men. Sometimes we have to change the machines, or sometimes we have to replace the men. Either they are retired or either we have to upgrade them or bring the new stuff. So, and also electricity equipments we have to change, or maybe the electricity light bulbs. So all these things we consider in the theory of replacement. So theory of replacement is concerned with the situation that arises when some items such as machines, men, or electricity light bulbs or any other equipments required replacement due to their decreasing efficiency, failure, or breakdown. So then replacement may be necessary because of the new discoveries or the better designs of the equipments. In replacement decisions, the cost of the equipment to be installed and the one being replaced, scrap value, useful life, return, and other relevant aspects have to be considered. The replacement theories help to solve all the replacement problems. So failure mechanism is relating to the replacement theory. When we replace the machines, when they are due to their failure. So failure mechanism of items means for mechanical devices that are for failure mechanism, maybe fatigues or overloaded, or that's why we have to replace them. While those failure mechanism exist many places in nature, they may or may not be present in the specific working environment of an asset. There are three cases when a machine component fails is or under failure condition: failure by elastic deflections, general failure by general yielding, or future failure, or maybe the new system has come and we have to replace the advanced machines instead of the past ones. So what are the causes of the failures? If we see, here are the most common failure causing problems and their solutions. So last, lack of prestige. More people fail not because they lack knowledge or talent, but because they just quit. Lack of conviction, rationalization, dismissal of past mistakes, lack of discipline, poor self confidence, or attitude. Their attitude makes the owners or the companies to replace their employees. If we see what are the reasons of failure mechanism of item in operation research, then progressive increase in maintenance expenditure or operating cost, decreased productivity of the equipment, and the decrease in the value of the equipment. So what are the types of failures in operation research? So failure of item is of two types: gradual failure and the sudden failure. Here the term failure will be considered in the context of replacement decisions. Mechanical items like piston, bearings, and automobile tires fall under this category. If we see what are the different types of failures, so examples of failure modes are given over here. You want to due to the heavy use or heavy loads, sometimes machine fatigues may be the cause of, may sometimes their time is over, they are expired, or such things made them the failure of the equipment, so we have to change them. The term or terminology bathtub curve. A bathtub curve is a visual representation of the failure rate of a product or group of products over time. So when with the graph of, with the help of the graph, we represent the failure rate of the products or the group of products over time, that curve is called the bathtub curve. By plotting the occurrence of failure over time, a bathtub curve maps out three periods that an asset experience within its lifetime: infant, mortality period, and normal life period. So the bathtub curve represent the three things. First is the infant mortality decreasing failure, when it starts normal life, that it attains during certain time, or end of life wear out increasing failure rate. So this is the bathtub curve of hypothetical failure rate versus time is given over here. This is also bathtub curve that is representing the decreasing failure rate, then the constant failure rate, and increasing failure rate. So observed failure rate is given in the curve. So what are the three phases of bathtub curve? The image result for bathtub curve in operation research. The bathtub curve is divided into three regions: early failure, useful life, and wear out. So how do you calculate the bathtub curve? So bathtub curve BF, bathtub curve failure is equal to 1 over failure rate, or failure rate is equal to 1 over MTBF, or it may be 1 over some value in the hours, or failure rate is then that value over per hour. So failure rate, the per 1,000 hours we can give, per 1 hour we can give. So this is the rule for calculating the bathtub curve. How can the bathtub curve be used as a tool for maintenance management? The bathtub curve represents the probability of a certain asset failing over time. It allows us to clearly map three distinct phases in the asset life cycle. As you can see, since the bathtub curve helps us determine the asset's expected useful life and reliability, it's easier to keep it under control. So here is also an image that is representing the bathtub curve different situations. So next, our topic is general approach for the solution of replacement problems. So the general approach or the general steps to solve problems in operation research with the replacement problems are that we describe the problem, then we formulate the OR model, then we solve the OR model, performing some analysis of the solution, and then we represent the solution and analysis. So with the help of mortality tables, we also represent our replacement theory. So question arises, what is mortality table? So mortality table, also known as a life table or actual table, shows the rate of death occurring in a defined population during a selected time interval, or survival rates from birth to death. How do you calculate the mortality table? Question arising. To calculate a naught, first the sum of deaths divided by the appropriate at-risk population for each age group is multiplied by the corresponding assumed average age at death, that is given in the table in the next slides. So these are then summed and divided by the total death rates and the sum of all the age groups. So this way we find the mortality tables. What are the types of mortality tables? There are two main types of mortality tables, the period life table and the short life table. Period life table means that determines mortality rate for a specific population during a defined period of time, such as a single year or a group of years. So what are the mortality, what do we develop in the mortality tables? The mortality table typically shows the general probability of a person death before their next birthday based on their current age. These tables are typically used in order to inform construction of insurance policies and other forms of liability management. And how do you use mortality? So mortality means there are numerous ways that we can use the mortality. For example, for the sake of snake bite in is low, or in Italy, the annual mortality for this cause average is 15,000, which is estimated. And he had no sense of his own mortality and fighting skill that reveal certain things. So mortality is taken as the replacement problems in that replacement problems per average, per annual, per year, per month, and so on. So next topic is that is other than the replacement problems is the integer programming. First, we have learned in the our course about the linear programming. In linear programming, we deal with the equations with the single variables or maybe two variables or three variables, but they are of the linear types. So that they are called the linear programming problems. And integer programming means in operation research that expresses the optimization of a linear function subject to a set of linear constraints over integer variables. So here, instead of linear variables, we have the variables of the integer variables types. So in integer programming is the class of problems that can be expressed as the optimization of a linear function subject to a set of linear constraints over integer variables. So the problem is the same, just like the linear programming as in the slide is we, with the help of linear programming, we first find out the maximization objective function, and in the over here in the slide it is of maximization problem. So then we have some constraint that subject to our maximization of a problem or our objective function, and we have also the non-negativity constraints. So integer programming are also the same as like the linear programming, but the difference is that linear programming is used to find optimal solutions to problems using the base of a linear function like a line, and in the integer programming is a programming with all variables restricted to integers. So why integer programming problems are more difficult to solve than linear programming problems? Because integer programming is considered harder than linear programming, because linear programming is known to be in whereas integer programming is complete. So can an integer program have two optimal solutions? No, this is not possible. Indeed, consider two optimal solutions and to the optimization problem. So what are the three types of integer programming? There are three types of integer programming that are 0 and 1 integer programming, total integer programming, and mixed integer programming. So we use mixed integer programming often for system analysis and optimization, as it presents a flexible and powerful method for solving large complex problems, such as the case with the industrial symbolization and process integration. What is integer programming and its types? Integer programming problem is a mathematical optimization or feasibility program in which some or all of the variables are restricted to be the integers. If some decision variables are not discrete, the problem is known as mixed integer programming problem. And here in the diagram, it is clearly shown what is meant by the integer programming. So in integer programming, we have also a terminology or a technique that is branch and bound method. The branch and bound method is a solution approach that partitions the feasible solution space into smaller subsets of solutions, can assume any integer value greater than or equal to 0 is what given in this model. Its distinction as a total integer model. The branch and bound method is a solution approach that partition the feasible solution space into smaller subset of solutions. So here is the branch and bound diagram. It's a knapsack problem, and the weight is 10. We have to carry the 10 kg weight in a bag to from depot and from the distinction to various nodes. So red nodes are ignored because of infeasible solution, and the branch and bound diagram is given. For the A distinction, you have to reach 2 kilometer or maybe some other things cost $40. B cost $50, and C cost $100, and D cost $95, and E cost $30. So their time is relevant time, or weight is given. So we start our journey from A to B, B to C, then C to D, and D to E. So there is here the path is closed. We can't move further. So from B to, we can move to C, and then C to D, and D to E. Also D to E we can move, and C to D we can move. So it's different type of paths are given, and this shows the branch and bound method. So these are the branches, A to B and B to C and C to D, and they are bounded by their nodes and their distance or weights that is given in the question. Here is another example of a branch and bound example. Single machine, maximum lateness and releases and due dates. So in the previous slide, it was the distance you have to cover, and the cost of the travel is given. Here is the single machine, maximum lateness and release and due dates is given. So have we, when we will assign the jobs to the machines at level 0 and level 1, then it is a case of a branch and bound method. And other is the advanced linear programming, advanced programming. So we will go through it with the help of the Operation Research Your Course book by Hamdi H. Yes, class, for your advanced linear programming, we have the chapter 7 in the Hamdi H. Taha book. So what we do in advanced linear programming, all we have done in the linear programming, the graphical method for finding the optimal feasible solution, and then the simplex method for finding the optimal feasible solution. And then in the simplex method, we have the two-phase method, we have the M-phase method, and we have other methods. We find their degeneracy, we find their optimality, and we find their independency. All we will do in the advanced linear programming, but with the help of the matrix form. So that's why this is called the advanced linear programming. So in the advanced linear programming, first, as we in the linear programming deal with the graphical method, so we will deal with the help of a graphical method. If we see the simplex method and fundamentals. So in simplex method, we find in linear programming, we find the feasible solution in the and that feasible solution space is said to be a form of convex set. And then we have extreme points in the feasible solution graphically. So the feasible point x can be expressed as a convex combination of its extreme points x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, and so on. How many points we have in the our feasible space. So x is represented by alpha 1, x1, alpha 2, x2, alpha 3, x3, alpha 4, x4, plus alpha 5, x5, and plus alpha 6, x6, where alpha 1, alpha 2, 3, 4, and 5, all their addition should be equal to 1, and alpha should be greater than or equal to 0, where I variation is from 1 till 6, as we have a 6 variables over here. So this observation shows that the extreme points provided all that is needed to define the solution space completely. So if we see this diagram, A part, so A is the example of the feasible solution. So relating to the first example, show that the following set is convex. So C is x1, x2, when x1 is less than or equal to 2, and x2 is less than or equal to 3, and x1 is greater than or equal to 0, and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. So then we take x1 is equal to x1 prime and x2 prime, and x2 is equal to x1 double prime and x2 double prime. Be any two distant points in C. So C is the convex, then x should be equal to x1, x2, which is equal to alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2, and where alpha 1 plus alpha 2 should be equal to 1, and alpha 1 and alpha 2 are greater than or equal to 0. So must also be in C. To show that this is true, we need to show that all the constraints of C are satisfied by the line segment X. So then x1 is equal to alpha 1 x1 prime plus alpha 2 x2 prime, and that should be less than or equal to x alpha 1 into 2 plus alpha 2 into 2, which should be equal to 2. And similarly for the x2. So this was the method for the graphical, and we will deal with the exercise and the numerical problems. So from extreme points to basic solution, we know that in linear programming, we deal with the maximization or minimization problems, where in maximization or minimization, our objective function is represented by the z, and that is equal to the cx, where c represent the cost, and c is the n vector representing the objective function, and x is the uh, x is a n vector representing the variable. Subject to ax is equal to b, where a is the m by n matrix representing the constraint coefficient, and b is the column vector representing the right hand side, or sometimes the basic variables we call them, and the variable, the x variable or x n vector must be greater than or equal to 0. This is the matrix form of our linear programming problem. So basic solution is ax is equal to b, and extreme points are x when ax is equal to b tends to basic solution of ax is equal to b. So by using this, we will define a vector of sum of pj xj is equal to b, and then with the help of this linearly independent matrix B, which is non-singular, and XB is the matrix of cost. We find out the value of B, and XB is equal to B inverse B. So by using these methods, we will deal with the numerical problems and exercises. Then we also find out the simplex table for the finding the uh, feasible solution. So this is called the generalized simplex table in matrix form, and also we find out the other linear programming problems with the help of the advanced programming, or in other words, with the help in the matrix form. So inshallah, in the class, we will go through these examples and exercises, and inshallah, it will make more clear and more give you the concept relating to the your course operation research for finding the physical optimal solutions of our objective functions, whether it is minimization of cost or minimization of time or minimization of travel or maximization of profit or maximization of something else. So we find the optimality condition and feasible conditions now with the help of linear programming problems, but in the form of in the matrix form. So till then, class, thank you, and go through it, and inshallah it will be helpful for you in the